Down.
Yes. Yeah, look here. Yes.
You are an inspiration for our student community, past, present and future.
Serve in public life, but fear the pitfalls that college.
I also heard that Hindu College is now placed number 1 in the national system. So very proud to hear that. Well done, congratulations. 30-something years ago, when I was a sociology student, navigating the vibrant yet somewhat overwhelming streets of Delhi, the city was on the cusp of transformation. It was pre-liberalization India. Sri Lanka had already liberalized. India was making a much more gradual transition, and I remember arriving here and Pepsi had just begun, and that was seen as a big deal then. I remember the conversations that we used to have at the time, not just in the classrooms, I would say, especially not in the classrooms, but more on the lawns, over endless cups of Jai Singh's tea, chai, about social structures. Jai Singh's lawn still remains, but I don't think he's here any longer. I'm sorry to hear that. All those conversations we had about inequality, feminism, human development, that felt both urgent and necessary. Politics and myriad other subjects, films, drama, theatre, we talked about everything. Of course, as young people, starry-eyed and idealistic, we naturally thought we knew it all. And that changing the world was an easy task, and all we had to do was leave Hindu College and get out there, and the world was ours. I also recall some of the discussions in sociology and the deep realization that understanding society meant understanding people, their struggles, their aspirations, their resilience. Just as much as I am thankful to the Government of India for making it possible for me to study at Hindu College, I'm grateful to all my teachers, one of whom is still here, Ms. Achala. I think she's somewhere here. Others who have moved on to other institutions. They didn't just teach me theories, but encouraged me to think critically, to question, and to never accept injustice as inevitable. The Delhi I knew at that time was different from the metropolis you experience today. But even then, it pulsed with energy, diversity, and the promise of what India could become. To my mind, however, what makes Delhi truly unique still remains unchanged. And that is Delhi's ability to absorb people from everywhere, to embrace diversity, and most importantly, to teach resilience. It made me, a young woman from Sri Lanka, far away, quite far away, to feel very much at home and to feel accepted, and that part of me still belongs to Delhi. I believe that education, compassion, and empathy must go hand in hand. Understanding societal structures matter little if we don't understand the human beings within them. Whether you become a doctor, engineer, astronaut, civil engineer, entrepreneur, politician, or anything at all, let compassion and empathy guide your expertise. Let your learning further humanity. The most intelligent mind is incomplete without a compassionate and empathetic heart. This was very pertinent advice that I received when I was offered this opportunity to take on politics as full-time profession. And when one of my colleagues told me, don't be afraid, sometimes life throws things at you, which if you shouldn't think too much about, you have to just go with it and grab it and go take the decision and plunge in and go forward. Remain open. I think that's the lesson I learned. Remain open to life's opportunities. Never think that you know how your life is going to unfold. You cannot ever know. I never knew. And I think that is the most wonderful thing about life and about what we are equipped through education to be able to face. Also remember that democracy is not a spectator sport. It's hard work. Active citizenship means more than just voting or commenting online or presenting your opinion on Instagram, on Twitter, or whatever else social platform you're on. It means engaging with your community, standing up for justice, and contributing to the common good in whatever capacity you can. The beauty of democracy, something that India and Sri Lanka share in this region as unbroken democracies since independence, is that ordinary citizens like me, like you, shaped by public education and shared struggles, can rise to serve their nations. I want to also urge you to always build bridges in whatever context you're placed. Don't build barriers, whether it is within educational institutions, homes, offices, between nations or communities. Remember to always find ways to collaborate and partner. The sustainable future of our countries, regions, and indeed the planet depends on collaboration and partnership. For me, returning to Hindu College is also so much about the India-Sri Lanka relationship. 22 nautical miles of the ocean, the Pork Strait, separates our two countries. But what unites us is so much more. Science professors here who will tell you that politics is about power. And transformation of those power structures is what politics is about. And without that, I don't think you can see any kind of transformation in the world. So let's change what we don't like about politics, which is the way in which the cultures of some political parties, the corruption, the nepotism, the distance from normal, ordinary citizens. Let's change that, but don't reject politics, because without politics, you won't be able to change the world, and that's what we have to do.
You are one of South Asia's women leaders at such high office. What do you think is needed to create a more enabling space for women in politics?
Oh, great question. That was one of the things we used to talk about even here, because it was a perennial problem. Women in public spaces, whether it's in politics, whether it's in art, whether it's in business, often face greater challenges than men do. And I think it comes, I'm sorry to say this, but we live in a patriarchal world still, and those structures still need to change. But in that journey, I think we also need to avoid culture wars where we pit ourselves against each other and polarize ourselves and think that there's a them and us, right? And I think that it's more about changing the structures that keep certain people, because of their sexual or gender identity, away from resources, away from accessing opportunities.
To please give way.
Come back to sociology.
It's a moment of immense pride to welcome you back to the Department of Sociology, Prime Minister of a country visiting a charity.
மேலதிக செய்திகளுக்காக எமது யூடியூப் தளத்தை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் செய்யுங்கள்.